Hello my angels and devils and all who may wander here. Amanda Christina and I have another craft tutorial for you for Christmas. I did this one year for my friends and put a small handmade wooden ornament in each one. I have a Christmas stocking stencil. I made this, just draw a stocking, a sock or stocking shape, or trace one, or if you've got dies, use the dies. Now I'm going to cut a little bit extra off this just so that it fits on my page. I'm pretty sure I made this bigger for my fabric ones, but at the moment I just really want this to fit on the page. So I'm just going to do, that should be enough. Yep, now it fits on my page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace two of these out. Now I'm trying to remember how to do this, it's been a while. So trace one that way and I think I trace one the other way. Basically you want both your pieces of paper facing outwards. So I'm just because this is easier, I'm just literally going to trace it on this. Side, just because I actually know how I want this to, and I've kind of messed that up already. Oh no, hang on. I'm messing this up. Should be okay. Any imperfections can be cut away from. Okay, so now you're just going to cut them out. Now, if you have a Cropadile or something of that nature, that is going to definitely be the easiest, quickest option here. I don't know where my Cropadile is, so I am going to be using, I'm not sure which one of these lines is the right line, so I'm just going to go for the outside line because it can always be trimmed later if needs be. Okay, so that's one cut out, and then we're going to cut out the other one. And as I said, I don't know where the map for my silent setter is, so I've just grabbed a piece of box lid just to make it a bit easier. This is something I spent, it's so weird. I don't think of some of the crafts that I know how to do or things that I've made up for different things, because honestly, it's been quite a few years. Like, gosh, the last time I did these, I was actually in a long-term relationship. Which was, what was that, about 8 years ago? Oh my god. Let's not talk about how long I've actually been single for. There was a relationship post that, but that isn't worth mentioning. I've gotten a lot fussier in my old age, what can I say? Anyway, so you've got both your stockings. Now, the idea is that you're going to have, see, you'll have either side outwards. So what you're going to do, now I've taken, what is it, the middle sized one, and I think this might be full of stuff, which is not good, but we'll just poke that through. Yeah, that's one of the things with silent setters, is they do fill up really easily, whereas with your, hang on, come out, there we go. So that's empty now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sit here and I'm just going to go in a little bit. Okay, this may not be the best thing to do this on. So as I'm naughty and already cut on this, I'm just literally going to move my mat, because you should never cut on a mat like that. Although there are a few cut marks in mine. Shh, don't tell. And then you just want to swirl it around and make some holes just every so often. It doesn't have to be super close together, and I'm actually going to pause this because honestly this is going to take me a while. So we have two holes, so the aim is you go all the way around and back up to the top, and I'm going to pause this for a minute and then I'll come back to you when that's done and show you what the next step is. Okay, and now we're back. I've just tidied these up a little, and as you can see, I've done all the way around. Now, if I had an eraser handy, I would totally erase that line. You can just flip your stencil over, so you do one that way and one that way. I couldn't quite remember that, and I was a bit worried I would screw it up, so I didn't want to do that. We can move the craft glue out of the way. And so now what I'm going to do is, honestly, this stuff is cheap as chips, and I have an abundance of it, so I'm just going to unspool a really sort of generous amount, because basically at the end of this you kind of want enough to have a handle, a hanging. So what you're going to do is you pick whichever side you want for your front or back. I'm going to do the Santa side as the front, I think, just because it is a little nicer. And then what you're going to do is do your little knotting of it at the back. Now, here's the thing. You want to leave a little bit of a loop in your knot, because you're going to end up threading this back through at the end. So you can always sort of, it just helps to have a little bit of a looser knot. Like, I haven't done it super tight. Now what you're going to do is, I've probably done a little much of this, so it's probably going to be a little bit of a thing, but what you're going to do is you're just going to take it and thread it through, and you're just going to keep winding it, oh, this is being a bit of a, winding it through each hole. So basically, let me do a couple more and I'll show you what it does. It just gives you a really nice look, and it's kind of a cross between, I mean, if you wanted to do the blanket stitch style and pull it through each loop as you go, you could easily do that, but I'm just literally looping this around the edges. It makes for such a pretty stocking, and it is something really unique, and you can actually do a few at once. Just be gentle with your cording, because you don't want to, I could have probably even done my holes on a smaller size, but that is what you've got so far. And I've just realised I screwed one up. Oh, hang on, no. Yeah, I did. So the good thing about this is, if you screw up, you can just literally pull it back through to where you screwed up, which was here, because I put it under, you always want to come under, over, under, over. So you're basically doing the classic under and over with this. So you don't go down to the next hole from behind. You're always one hole through, one hole through, one hole through, and then we'll just pull all this through gently and try not to knot it together. And then you just pull it through gently. As I said, because this is paper, I mean, you could do this probably with felt or something else had you wanted to. It was just such a cute idea. And the really great thing about this is, you do not even have to use, you just want to make sure it's pulled reasonably firmly. You do not even have to use Christmas paper. It looks so good in just regular pattern paper. I have done it in regular pattern paper. Actually, I didn't do mine in any Christmas paper. I actually did mine in regular pattern paper, and it was just so gorgeous. So your aim is to do this. See if you can, yep, see that? I'm going to pause now and just finish going around, and then I'll show you how we finish this off. Okay, so now that pause button is a godsend. Now we have that done. What you're going to do is, what I do is tend to just do a quick knot with the last bit, just so it hangs better. That's all this is about. It's just about making sure it hangs really well. So we just want to do, that did not work very well. I'm a little out of practice, and I can tell you now, when I used to do these, they were a little bit smaller. So now what we're going to do is it's not a big loop, so I should have left a bigger loop, but I pulled tight at the top, forgetting about the loop. But hang on. So what you do is it helps to trim that so you've got a nice sharp point, and then you basically just want to push it through. And I realise that the gold is actually a little bit hard to see, so you push it through, then you decide how much hanging you want on it. I think that will be about right. Yep. So then you just literally tie it off, and then use the extra for another stocking or for another craft. I have loads of this string stuff, so it comes in handy. And honestly, when I was making stockings, I actually got quite a few stockings out of one roll of it. That says it was $2.50, but I can tell you it wasn't. 16 meters of it for probably like 50 cents post Christmas, or $1 or something. It was not super expensive. I would not have paid $2.50 for it, I can tell you that now. Okay, and then we just have these two bits to chop off here, and that's it. It's that simple. This is probably going to get uploaded before the wreath, just because the wreath video is going to take so long. And because there's no adhesive or anything here, you've got a nice little pocket to sort of put things in. And that's it. That's your... And if you just want to open it up a little bit more, just take your scissors and gently sort of work it into the places where it hasn't, kind of, or even your fingers or a pencil, because my fingers aren't going to get into that toe bit. Yeah. But you can just work it open to put some stuff in it, and it's there to stuff with like little goodies, or just to have as a decoration. You can make little teeny tiny ones for your tree, but I really like those. That was something I did for presents many years ago. I think I put a little wooden ornament and maybe a bookmark in it. So if you enjoyed this craft, make sure you click the like button and let me know. Let me know in the comments below if you're going to try this. If you do try this craft, which I should have said on the Christmas wreath one as well, make sure you hashtag Heavenly Imaginings on Instagram, or tweet at Heavenly Imagine on Twitter, because I would really love to see your creations if you do it. Or link your video below if you make it and you do a project share. So that's it. If you're new here and you're not one of my amazing subscribers, why aren't you yet? There is an amazing community of people waiting for you, and we would really, really love to have you here. And we wish you a Merry Vlogmas. We wish you, or I wish you a Merry Vlogmas. Wish you a Merry Vlogmas. I wish you a Merry Vlogmas, and the vlog ends right here.